Hello, we're here at Misco Expo 2011 and I'm talking to Andrew Lintell, who's the Corporate Sales Director at Kaspersky, is that right?
That's correct.
Alright, nice to meet you, Andrew.
Likewise.
So Kaspersky, obviously I know as a security software company, and I've got to admit, writing about security software companies, sometimes it can be hard to sort of distinguish what the different propositions are. So why don't you just tell me a little bit, rather than about your product straight away, what sort of trends Kaspersky is sort of reacting to in the marketplace right now?
Sure, well, there's a lot going on. Obviously, the economic environment being as challenging as it is in the UK, particularly with our small and medium business customers. Obviously, they're under a lot of pressure to continue to grow their business wherever possible, and more often than not, with a lot less resources than they had this time last year.
And it's not like they can borrow any money either, is it?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a bit of a tough place to be at the moment.
Yeah.
And at the same time, of course, they're trying to make sure that they're concentrating on their businesses. Whatever it is that they do, whether they're a plumber or an architect, they need to be able to continue to do that job and focus all of their time and effort on that.
And grow as well. Yeah.
Exactly. So one of the things that we do consistently hear back from customers is the adoption of kind of new ways of working, or sort of technology that they already employ in other areas of their lives to try and make their work lives more productive. And at the same time, probably a little bit more cost effective.
And is that sort of things like sort of remote working and home working and that sort of thing?
Exactly.
That's a trend we're hearing quite a lot today. And so where do you guys get involved there?
Well, home working and remote working are pretty well serviced in terms of allowing people to securely access remotely via a PC.
Yeah.
But what we're actually seeing is the adoption of consumer technologies in the marketplace, in the workplace, to be able to access corporate and work email, for example, which is a lot of.
So by consumer technologies, are you specifically talking about smartphones or I guess tablets?
Absolutely.
More
tablets and smartphones are now really the new forefront of mobile computing, and they're making their way into the business in very, very fast numbers. Basically, the MD or the CEO gets one for Christmas. He brings it in. He likes working on a device that he's comfortable with, that's easy to use, and he wants to be able to connect that to the corporate network.
Yep.
And we find increasingly that, of course, a lot of employees also want to use the device that they're most comfortable with.
They want to use it, and they're going to have one, and presumably for the sort of CFO or the bean counter, they're thinking, hold on a sec. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of devices we don't have to buy.
It's a great opportunity because, of course, naturally, there's plenty of studies around it, but an employee will be naturally more productive if you give them the ability to do so.
Yeah.
So 20% is generally the figure that gets used. So how do I get 20% more out of my employees without introducing any more cost? So for the CFO, it's a very natural decision, which is to allow employees to use their own devices to be able to do the work wherever they are.
Okay, so we're getting into, at the very least, sort of mobile security here. I'm aware, I won't name them because they're a competitor of yours, but I'm aware of a free bit of antivirus software that I can get on my Android phone. I believe you guys have Android products as well.
Absolutely, it's one of our biggest, actually, one of our biggest sellers. Now, Android adoption has exploded in the last couple of years.
But you're finding that end users are aware of the need for securing their mobile device against malware or whatever.
Quite interesting. Everyone's kind of used to having some sort of anti-malware technology on the device that they use,
their PC,
laptop or a PC. But what's increasingly more obvious is that people are also very worried about how easy it is to lose a mobile. And obviously to the business actually allowing you to connect to the corporate device with your personal handphone, then you've got a slight problem there. Because of course, it's quite a security risk. So how do you best manage that? It's a great opportunity to save money and increase productivity, but for the IT guy responsible for security, it's a big problem.
I'll give you a sort of chance to sort of plug here. Is there anything you guys do particularly that you think sort of sets you apart in this area?
Well, one of the products in the Kaspersky corporate portfolio is, naturally as you'd expect, a smartphone product. We cover all of the major platforms where we work with. Android's one of our biggest that we've already mentioned.
And as we know, it's growing very rapidly.
The crucial difference is we give an SMB the ability to be able to easily manage a mobile device as easy as he would manage a laptop or a server or a PC, which is critical because you don't want to be introducing extra resources and time to try and save money elsewhere.
Okay, and just to, while we're talking about products, just to finish off, generally it could be mobile or otherwise. Have you guys launched any products recently?
Yes, in fact, the last 2 weeks we have our new corporate product out in the market, which is called M.8.
Right.
And are actually a brand new management console, which allows us to be able to manage all sorts of different devices, from mobile devices, laptops, PCs, and file servers, all from the same console.
Okay, and is endpoint called that because it's for the end terminal, the device
That's
itself?
right, yeah, a bit of an industry term. But endpoint being the device at which you're actually kind of touching the network and accessing data through.
Okay, and would sort of SMBs or enterprise sort of buy the two things together?
They would. It comes as a suite.
That comes as a suite. Okay.
And for ease of use, particularly for our SMB clients, we have the ability to have a suite that's got all of the components bundled in, so they only have to buy one product.
Yeah.
And they're fully integrated, and of course, naturally, very easy to use.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
So I was talking to Andrew Lintell from Kaspersky at Expo 2011.